April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Our Chase Campbell talked with a staff member from a local shelter who work every day to remind survivors they are not alone.
EVE Incorporated serves survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, and human trafficking in Washington County. Shelter Director Lynn Boehm says what sets them apart starts with something simple.
I mean, we're a safe place. You know, the law enforcement, they help them get them out of that situation and all of that, but like, we are a safe place they can go. That, you know, they don't have to watch over their shoulder for their abuser.
Emergency Services Coordinator Denise Lee says the shelter takes all genders, accepts families, and tailors its services to what each person actually needs, from food assistance and job help to legal advocacy and therapy referrals. She says that flexibility matters because they can't take a one-size-fits-all approach to helping survivors.
Everybody has their own individualized needs, and I think it's important to recognize that. Not everybody who's coming into the shelter is going to have the same needs, and so really just, again, being holistic and meeting them where they are is really valuable, I think. We see them as people and individuals.
Lee also coordinates EVE's Sexual Assault Response Team, a coalition of law enforcement, children's services workers, and SANE nurses who coordinate how the community responds when a sexual assault is reported. Like many nonprofits, EVE has faced funding pressure in recent months. Lee says they're navigating it, leaning on volunteers and community donations to fill gaps. Despite the difficulties, they remain steadfast in their commitment to their mission.
This is a really great cause. We're all super passionate. We want to help survivors. That's what we're here for. And so even though we are navigating and addressing some challenges like relating to our grants, I think that we're doing a really great job with it.
To mark Sexual Assault Awareness Month, EVE is hosting a denim walk on April 29th at the Armory Lawn in Marietta, with a chalk walk, community resource tables, and food. April 7th is also National Sexual Assault Awareness Day, and Boehm says there's an easy way to show support.
If anybody wants to wear teal and snap some photos and send it to EVE, we will definitely share that on our Facebook page.
Anyone looking to volunteer, donate, or connect with services can reach EVE through their Facebook page or by calling the shelter directly. In Marietta, Chase Campbell, WTAP News.
Coming up in sports, the Marietta College Pioneers